What up, class? Doing a quick review on the final project, I guess. Let me minimize this. This is the one I want. Um, just going over a couple of things in here. Definitely have almost all these. I think the only thing I don't have, I know for sure I don't have, is multi-threading, um, exception handling. I'm not entirely sure if I have abstraction and templates. Everything else I think is in here. I think maybe polymorphism isn't in here, but um, let's just do a quick review. We'll go over it real quick. It's really fun. I enjoy it. Um, so let's just go over. Close out of that. Let's go over main real quick. Um, Main just calling all the I guess instructions really, and then just calling the big main buddies that are going. Let's make a list. Let's start selecting stuff to compare a word list to. Right. Um, this is going to be my parent class right here. It's going to be file manipulator. I did not put all these functions in the class. I did not have time. In theory, you could put all these in here, and then in the back half, all these would just say file manipulation : open readable file. Um, the let's see. I have three classes. They're all what you call it, inheritance of a file manipulator. The only real ones that need to do it are this one did not need to do it, but I did it just because I can. The only real ones that need to do it are these searchable words and genre, because these are the words, or these are the classes that are loading up words in and out of read from incoming file and write to outgoing file. So just fun fact for there. So that's my inheritance. As you saw earlier, I use vectors. Basically, the premises of the program is that I'm taking two vectors, taking the files, reading a file, cutting it up word by word, and then comparing each word in the file. Is this one the same as that? No? Okay. Is this one the same as that? No? Okay. Is this one the same as that? No? Okay. Um, and then basically it'll do that for each word in the words that the user inputs to search for against a block of pre-made text files. And so we'll do that here. The PyText, that's not real. That's not real. But it'll do that in here. It'll compare it against these. This is an older project that I had. It is my IO project. There are some slight feature changes. The structures are gone, and I've converted them to classes inside of their own header CPP files. So that way they are separate from everything. Yay, separate. The other aspect to it is I've made it so that the user can read the file that they're comparing it to beforehand. So they can actually just kind of see what's getting compared. Other than that, though, let's just hop into it. It's just easier. So, boop. We'll go up here. I want to make sure we're recording. Okay. So here it's going to have me make a file. I'm going to just do my name, Gerard.text, enter. So I just made the file name. Bam, that's all we did. Now I'm at the point where it opens a file in a function, and then it's like, all right, you made the file name. I apologize. Now put stuff in it. And so I want to search for, let's search for the word of, and let's search for the word hat, green, love, red, blue, gold, hate, grow, help, show, new, craft. I could even put I can put the words twice in a row. It'll just show the same result for him though. So this is a little bit more than 10. I made it so that you can put in, if you wanted to, one book and compare it to another book, because you can also write your own custom story if you want, not just the pre-made text files. So you can do some leeway here. It's pretty fun. So we're just gonna do that. So that's the content of the file, and it's gonna tell me files made with the name, and then file open. You have to close files down before you can reopen and do something new to them every time. And it took me a very long time. Got stuck right in this gap for a very long time. This is gonna be awesome. Now you've made the file. Let's compare stuff. So let's just do it. One sci-fi. So it's going to be the book Hell's Reach, and it's just a little on the back thing of it. It's going to find the word of 4 times. If you notice, well, no, you don't. But if of had a capital, right? Of right there, if it was OF or capital O, F, or everything was capitalized. What the vectors do is, so the words we put in right here to this file, they get put into a file they're made, and then what it's doing is it's made file, and then it doesn't tell you, but it closes it, and then it opens it again. And what it does when it's opening this is it's taking these words and loading it into vector A. Yay, vector A. All right, and then we come down here like let's do the sci-fi one. It's reading this out of a text file, and two things are happening. There's one file that opens it and reads it line by line. One open file that reads it line by line. There's a, which is what you're seeing here, and then there's a second open file that reads the exact same file, and chops it up word by word. So one's going, when the world of Armageddon is attacked by orcs, cut. The other one is going, yeah, and then makes that a string. The other one's going when, string, the, string, word, string. And what it's doing is taking each of those strings and loading it into vector B. Vector A and B get compared. And how I did it was vector A, oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. Vector A gets stripped of all punctuation and capitalized, and vector B gets stripped of all capitalization, or sorry, gets stripped of all punctuation and capitalized, and then they get compared string by string. So they actually become unison and get compared. That way, two things happen. I'm not actually affecting what's in the file. I can play with the strings however I want, change them, modify them. As you can see there, strip punctuation, capitalized, lowercase, take off or take out the letter E, if I wanted to. I apologize, it's late. The other thing is that it just makes it easier for the vectors to be compared. The vectors can be as long as they want. If they're not arrays, they're lists in my head, and so that's just the easiest way that I came to do it. But let's look at the results. So you see it's in here 4 times. One, two. There's a couple more in there. Those are the two that I could pick out. Three off the top of my head, and since it's 4, I'm sure it's gonna be a pain in the butt to find the fourth one. But we'll keep moving on. So it found, of 4 times, 0 hat. What did it found? Grow once. Where is grow? Oh, grow. How can I find that? But not of. But that's the mentality of it. So if you did this for romance, and then what it does is when you're done displaying the results, right about here after it finishes displaying, is it clears out the vectors. So what it does is it clears out the results. These are also in a vector, and every time you add a word, it adds another 0 into the result vector, right? So it's just initializing zeros for each one of the words for their score. And what it does is at this point, right before it starts up into the new what do you want to pick kind of a deal, it goes, hey, let's change all these back to zeros since our score is reset for the new genre. And what it does is it shrinks the vector that had the genre in it back down to 0. So it basically uninitializes it and gets it ready to be reinitialized for the new genre. And here we'll hit 2 for romance. I lied. We're gonna hit, yeah, we should hit 2 for romance. There we go. We'll hit 2 for romance, and then it reinitializes the vector with all these new indexes, all these new strings that are loaded up into it. It's opened, it shows you the one that's opened, shows you the results. Of's in there 4 times again, hat's in there 2 this time, love's in there 1, U's in there once. Not a lot of colors, I'm swinging and missing with the colors, but and then same thing, let's just do it 3. We'll go through them all. So you see all the results for that one. News in there different, of's in there more, hat's in there 3 again. That's weird. There's a good number of hat. I don't know. It's all good. Hat's in there 2, of's in there 5, green's in there once. What is this one? This is oh, that's why. This is the weird comedy one that somebody wrote. And so this is the only thing that I have that was a little weird, is I noticed that if I copy and pasted some things, I got some characters in here that were not super stellar. Um, they're red, weird in here, funny, but once again they're stripped when they're compared. So I'm okay with them being in there because the weird characters get stripped. What was that, comedy? So let's do 6 for horror. This is one of my favorite stories here. And so, like, if we were to put in ceiling or every in lowercase, it would find them because it capitalizes everything. Everything in here would become capital. Of's in here 6. Another hat. This is weird. There's a lot of hats. New, you, and so here comes a fun one. So let's just do the custom one. This is actually my favorite. So if you really wanted to, you can make your own book. If you really want to, I'm gonna just type a couple of words. So it's a new set of instructions. Okay, let me make your own story here, something that you can compare to your words from earlier. So first we gotta make a new file. It's gonna make a new file, and I'm gonna type in my user story, and it's just like file creation, so don't do anything too crazy. I mean, not super pro yet. So just like before, that's the file name, and then it wants you to do stuff. So we know that we have of in there, of, of, of. Oh, and I want to just show off the things. So I will put a comma after that one. We'll do cook because I know that's not in there. Period, and then we'll do brackets, and we'll do what? Blue, and we'll do commas. Now I guess it doesn't really matter. Gold, gold. Doesn't matter if you do crazy things. We'll do red, and then red, and then red, and then I hope red's in there. Did I put red in there? Yeah. Okay. And then we'll just do one more. Let's use dot dot dot, and we'll do. Let's do help. So help. There you go. Craziness going on there, right? Some craziness. And so you're like, there's no way. And it might, it might actually mess up. We'll find out. But let's see. Here we go. So this is our file right here. And what it did is it made the file. And then it's treating it like a book, and it's opening the file so we can read it again. And then showing us which file is open, and then showing us the results. So we have of 4 times, of 4 times right there. Bam. Cook. Didn't read cook. We don't have cook. Blue. 1. Strip, strip. And technically that would be part of it. Stripped. Blue. Gold. Let's see gold. So we got gold, all lowercase, matches perfectly. Gold with the 2 ends. Bam. We got red. Capital, red all lower, and then red 2 ends again. And then help. Bam. Help. 1. So Uh, it does its job, faux show. Um, and then 8 to exit. Yay, press any key. Boop. Um, as far as the things that get passed in, polymorphism would be in one of the functions for the vectors. A lot of vector stuff going on. Where is it? I can't find it, but the encapsulation is definitely with all the stuff inside of the classes. What else do we need up here? But the opening menu for sure. It's like, hey, here's how you do it. I think I'd used if then stuff. I did not use. There we go. Yeah. So I could have used a switch statement very easily here. Switch case one. Um, you know, that very easy. I wanted to use this if else just to see the difference and all that stuff. Um, I guess closest I get to exception handling is I use C error. That's about as that's about as close as I get to that. I mean I did use it during, but I didn't film it. Once it's made and it works, I just kind of take away uh, the exception handling because it's really bulky code sometimes. File input output. We are doing an immense amount of file manipulation here, an immense amount. Did not do network communication because I'm still doing that project on its own, and it's a pain in my butt. Multi-threading. No. Templates. I have tons of templates that I use in there. I use STD all the time in here. With the file closed, the file opens, all that stuff. I don't know if that's what he means by templates. There's tons of stuff in here, and I use the standard library and all that stuff. Um, even algorithms. That was new for me. I needed that for the string manipulation down with the vectors. It was kind of new and an interesting thing to learn. Vectors, by far my favorite list handlers slash arrays. I think vectors are beyond a powerful tool for C++. Iterators, for for loops. I mean, I'm using it for counters. I'm using it for everything in here. Even here, it's just you know. Of course, that's not the one that I want. Where is it? It's down here. I mean, if here it is, the vector compares. And so these are basically iterating and counting through, and plussing up on each one in the list. This is where it's all uppercase, stripping all of the strings of their things. Here's an iterator right there, if not equal, right? Um, right here, if this is equal to that, iterators are super simple. Once again, no, it's exception handling. I don't know when you say abstraction. I don't think I actually have abstraction. So I guess multi-threading, abstraction, and then, yeah, and then maybe polymorphism. I gotta find it in here. I could have swore it's in here. I'm sorry if it's not. But definitely inheriting from at least two derived classes. Um, I have 4 classes total. 3 of them are inheriting from the parent of file manipulator. It was a fun one. And it was very well structured out for me to begin with. But again, just added some features, redid some of the code to make it more organized. Once again, recommented the crap out of everything. And I just tried to improve the fileability. Oh, I guess the one thing you can, so if you really wanted to see your file, here it is. So here's the list of the stuff that you made right there, the ones that you want to find. So it's proof that it works. And then my story. Bam, there's my story. But it is good to note that if I typed in an entire book, that entire book would be one line. I did not format that at all, which is something future project for me. But thanks for listening. That's my final project. I really hope you guys enjoy some of the code and just some of the fun ideas in there. Any questions, just give me a holler and I'll try and help. And have a good day.